Welcome to the SS Shadyside. All aboard! He's your main man, Marvelous Marcus Godly, man. And for those that don't know, the SS Shadyside was a boat that was owned by the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Long story short, man, it was a boat that was a fleet steamship. Excuse me, a steamship that was on that he owned. That was part of the Black Star Line. It was sunken, unfortunately, and the remains are still at the bottom of the Harlem River. Yes, it was a real, actual boat. He actually really did shit. So the remains of the SS Shadyside are at the bottom of the Harlem River, right? So I'm resurrecting the Shadyside because the haters tried to sink the boat, but I'm still here to show Big Homie in the ancestor realm in the spirit world that his ship is still afloat. It is your ship to liberation for all my struggling melanated people across the nation, man. But all I want to talk about today, man, is the dark night of the soul, man. Yeah, the dark night of the soul. Basically, the dark night of the soul is a period in your life after your spiritual awakening that everything you've ever known about yourself and everything you've ever thought about yourself is being challenged, tested, stripped, removed, burned, amplified, decreased, whatever, you know what I'm saying, whatever fancy adjectives you want to put right there, man. But personally, I've been through the dark night of the soul. And the sad part about it is you can go through the dark night of the soul not once, but various times throughout the course of your life, right? So basically, man, the dark night of the soul, when you first wake up spiritual, when you first go through spiritual enlightenment, when you first go through your spiritual awakening. All right, let me backtrack, because a lot of people, they go through their spiritual awakening after normally happens after a traumatic event. You know, men, whether it be prison, whether it be almost dying, whether it be, you know what I'm saying, like they just wake up one day and they realize the way they living is wrong and they need to change. I mean, women, you know what I'm saying, bad relationships, situations of sexual abuse, rape, um, you know what I'm saying, various family issues and everything, you know. So there's a lot of people out here, man, that's dealing with a lot of real shit, man. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are currently experiencing the dark night of the soul. And Corona has amplified it, has forced a lot of people to experience the dark night of the soul, where they had to sit there with just them and their thoughts. And that a lot of people went crazy during Corona. You know what I mean? People that's never been in situations where it's just you and your thoughts. You're physically trapped in your home, and you had to sit there and you had to listen to the thoughts that are in the back of your head, all the negative shit, all the self doubt, all the self loathing thoughts that you had in the back of your head. You had to sit there and you had to come to terms with that. You know, that's called shadow work in the new age or spiritual community. I don't know what they call it nowadays, man. But that's called shadow work. So a lot of times, once you enter into the dark night of the soul, you have to start doing a self inventory, man. Basically, the easiest way to start doing self inventory, to start working on your shadow work, is just to write down a list of every negative thing that's happened to you in your life. Just everything, even if you think it doesn't have an effect on you or not. Write down every negative situation and scenario that's happened to you in your life, right? Now, when you're done writing this list, go down the list, right? If any of those things on that list trigger any type of if you look at one particular incident, oh, this such and such happened, should have happened, whatever. Your reaction to that particular reaction means you're over that particular scenario. But if you scroll down to another scenario that you've been through, and you still get angry and you still get sad over this shit, then you need to do shadow work on that particular incident, because that's a chain, that's bondage, that's baggage, right? So recognizing that it is bondage, that it is baggage, you need to find ways to get rid of that thought process in your brain, because that's what's holding you back, King. That's what's holding you back, Queen. A lot of times people don't sit down and do self inventory, man, because life, you know what I mean, shit going A B blah blah blah. I gotta get up. I gotta go to work. Do this. I gotta pick my kids up at 4 o'clock or whatever. I gotta take such and such to their games. I gotta do this. You know what I'm saying? For this other thing, I got me and my homie, we working on this. Me and my other homie, we working on. You know what I'm saying? People just running around being busy. All right, like we trying to, because everybody's trying to keep their head above water. You know what I'm saying? I don't know any millionaires, and that's okay. I know I'm probably be the first millionaire I know, but I'm going to get it eventually. But for right now, I still have to go do shadow work. I still have to do self inventory. You know what I mean? In order for me to move up to the next level, you're not going to be able to move up to the next levels in your life until you do a personal self inventory. You have to realize how you're holding yourself back. What thought processes and behaviors are keeping you where you are, or keep experiencing the same things in your life. So the dark night of the soul, man. For a lot of people, they might lose their job, their wife, husband, or whoever might leave them. You know what I'm saying? Some traumatic shit happened. They got robbed or something. They can't get the incident in the back of their head. They can't see the gun. They can't get rid of the gun in their face. They can't get that image out of their head. You know what I'm saying? They got PTSD off of that. People get shot. People got stabbed. People got molested. People got raped. All kind of these negative scenarios. You know what I'm saying? Or some people, they're happy going to their job, going to their job. Then slowly but surely, day after day after day after day after day, they start to feel like their life is slipping. You know what I'm saying? They feel like their life is passing before their eyes. They start, that cubicle becomes a prison. There's more than one prison, man. There's free prison and there's prison. Free prison for a lot of people, but they won't honestly sit there and tell you that. A free prison for a lot of people is these office buildings, man. There's a lot of depressed people in these office buildings making all this goddamn money, right? Yeah, they got the bands and all that. Yeah, they got all of that, but they still in debt. That's all debt. They don't own none of that shit. They got the big $500,000-$600,000 house or however much house, right? But they in debt. They don't own that house. So they literally have to sacrifice years off of their life just to own a house and a fucking car. And one day they just wake up and they're like, man, why am I working so goddamn hard? Like, you know what I'm saying? They wake up. They realize they don't like their coworkers. They realize their bosses are assholes. You know what I mean? And then the depression sets in, and then their work performance slips, and then a whole bunch of shit goes on. You know what I'm saying? Then add to the fuel to the fire. They go home. Shit ain't cool at home. You know what I'm saying? Their wife doing whatever. She might be out there. She might be out there sliding on a nigga. You know what I'm saying? For she might have side dudes or something, or vice versa. Sis might have husband might be out there doing him. You know what I'm saying? He bringing home diseases to her and shit. You know what I mean? Like, there's all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? People, best friends falling out. The people that was their support, people that you thought was in your support system, ain't in your support system no more. So it's really just you. You know what I mean? And Corona exposed that for a lot of people, man. A lot of relationships ain't make it through Corona because they were living a facade. You know what I mean? Homie can't go see his side girl, or she's not used to seeing you like that. She doesn't realize how annoying you are, King. It is what it is. Relationships can go either way, right? But you need to recognize when you're in the dark night of the soul and recognize that it's not an overnight thing to get out of the dark night of the soul. Because a lot of times, the dark night of the soul, it doesn't just last for a couple of days. That shit can last months. That shit can last years. You know what I'm saying? Everything you thought you knew about yourself is being tested. It's like one of my old podcasts I talked about the refiner's fire and everything. It's basically you're going to the dark night of the soul, pretty much in the biblical sense, is basically the refiner's fire, more or less. Now in the Bible, they talk about the refiner's fire where iron or metal or whatever, like for swords and everything, it goes through a refinement process, right? And when it goes through the refinement process, the metal is heated to a certain degree that where all the impurities and everything are melted away. So, Dark Night of the Soul is just a fancy way of saying you're going through the refiner's fire, man. So a lot of people don't make it through out of the Dark Night of the Soul because their demons and everything they got lashed onto them is doing their best to keep them in that particular phase of their life. So it's not going to be easy to get out of the Dark Night of the Soul because as soon as you just make up your mind to this, so you ever notice when you say, all right, I'm gonna stop doing this particular negative thing today or whatever. Then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. In order for you to lean back on your crutch, that's lets you know that demons and all that stuff is real. There are actual physical demons out there, man. We can only see 1% of the light spectrum. 1%. So you mean to tell me there is no spirit world? There's probably a spirit world. There's probably all kind of spirits in this room right now while I'm talking to you. You see what I'm saying? And I can't see them, but they're sitting here listening. They nod in my head. I probably got dead homies in here. I probably got ancestors in here. I know my cousin definitely. Yeah, I know my grandfather definitely in here right now because I feel them. But it's just like you're gonna go through a lot in this life, man. And The first thing you need to do when you're in the dark night of the soul, you need to learn to be kind to yourself. This world is designed to make you feel inferior because there's money in inferiority, right? Oh, ladies, is your stomach not flat? Well, get this new Spanx. What are they doing? They're tapping on your insecurities to make money off your insecurities, right? Okay. So there's money in inferiority, right? So a lot of times when there's money in inferiority, that's what is promoted. Oh, damn, bruh. You going bald, ain't you? All right, well, bet. Get this road game. Instead of just shaving the motherfucker off. Or I remember back in the day, East Bay, they had a joint. You can't dunk? You can't dunk the ball? Then they had them shoes with the motherfucking platforms and all that shit on there back in the East Bay magazine. Man, the shit was on the Seinfeld joint. He was talking about Jimmy does dunks and all that shit. That motherfucking shoe, man. That was in the East Bay. For inferiority. Inferiority is what makes sell. That's what makeup is. Women can't, for whatever reason, they feel they look better with makeup on. But the makeup is eating their face. We ever seen some chicks that got all that stuff right here? Because of inferiority complexes. All these people out here getting all these butt lifts and all this other shit to get attention from people they don't want. What's that? That's an inferiority complex. Yeah, there are women out there getting plastic surgery for themselves, but there's a lot of majority of women out there getting plastic surgery because they're insecure about particular part of the body for whatever reason, right? So there's money in it for inferiority, man. So when you're going through the dark night of the soul, be kind to yourself because that's the process of learning self-love. Because a lot of people they don't love themselves, man. They say, "Yeah, I love this person." They love people outside of themselves, but they don't love themselves. You know what I mean? They don't love. They don't like the face they see in the mirror every motherfucking day. They don't like that. You know what I'm saying? They might feel ugly. They might feel unattractive. You know what I mean? They might feel like a fucking booger wolf and shit. But it is what it is. So a lot of people walking around, they don't know how to love themselves. Because if you loved yourself, you wouldn't be putting yourself in these particular situations to begin with. But a lot of people don't do that because for whatever reason, their particular upbringing, they didn't experience a lot of love. They might have came from a dysfunctional household. You know, there's a whole bunch of different things, man. I mean, dysfunctional household, abusive relationships that fuck with your self-esteem. I mean, there's so many things, you know what I mean? So you have the first thing when you go through the dark night of the soul, man, is you have to be kind to yourself. Stop beating yourself up. And realize change doesn't come overnight, but you just have to take it one day at a time, man. It's not going to be easy. I know you heard this shit 1,000 times. I know it probably sounds cliche at this point, but literally make plans for the future, but live your life one day at a time. And one day at a time, do something small towards that particular goal to make you feel better about yourself. A lot of people got talents and, you know what I mean, hidden talents that they never do anything about because they're just so trapped up in the urgent, which is right now, the bills and all of this and that. And life is passing them by and these gifts again cobwebs, gifts again cobwebs. You see what I'm saying? And that's another thing that adds to people. A lot of people's depression is because they know what they truly want to do with their life, but they're trapped in whatever particular situation because they have responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? You ain't 20, 25 no more. You fuck around. You wake up one day, you 35, 36. You know what I mean? You got all these bills and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then you have to go to work. You dreading going to work, but you have to go to work in order to maintain your lifestyle. You know what I mean? And you're not truly happy, but yeah, you got the house, yeah, you got the car, yeah, you got the bad broad with the whatever, I don't know, red bottoms or whatever, the latest designer bullshit, people hyping and shit. You know what I'm saying? You might got the Rollie, you might got the Maybach outside, you know what I'm saying? You might got the Maserati outside, you know what I'm saying? You might got the Range Rover outside. But deep down inside, you fucking miserable. You know what I mean? That's why I don't envy a lot of people. A lot of people say, well, damn, Jay, you're supposed to be down in a particular situation that you're going through. All kind of hell, people trying to sabotage you, all kind of shit. You know what I mean? But I'm still here, and I'm thankful and I have peace of mind because I had to go through the dark night of my soul to get my peace of mind. I had to go through all that shit. This is what it is at this point. You know what I mean? I had to go through all of that shit. So by me going through all of that shit, I eventually reached enlightenment. And when you reach enlightenment, you will do everything in your power to protect that peace. And the funny thing about enlightenment is when you go through the dark night of the soul, people talk all kind of shit about you. They do all kind of shit. They do all kind of shit to sabotage you. They do all kind of shit to kick you while you're down. You know what I mean? Because they think you just being weak and shit like that, not knowing that what you're going through is God testing you. You know what I'm saying? Then when you start to slowly come out of the dark night of the soul, and you get to the other side, the same people that kick you while you down is going to come around talking about they need you. Don't fall for that shit, King. Just don't fall for that shit, man. Because if they were truly meant good for you and for meant to be in your life and help you with anything, the only thing they can help you with is overcoming adversity. Other than that, nah, fam. That's the problem with the world today. A lot of people don't have principles and morals and everything like that. If you go kick it with niggas that kick you while you down, laughed at you while you was down, after you come up, fam, you just ain't got no. You just don't love yourself, my guy. That's just the bottom line. You just don't love yourself. If people kick you while you was down, they sabotaged you, they ridiculed you, they did everything to run your name in the fucking mud because their weak ass couldn't go through the shit they was throwing at you. And you make it through all of that, and you still here, and you still laughing and smiling and all of that. Then they realizing, well, damn, if I can't beat him, might as well join him. Nah, don't fall for that shit, King. Just don't fall for that shit. Because I'm not gonna sit here. I can't kick it with niggas that kick me while I'm down, man. I just can't. Sorry. Because you showed me your true character. Like that old saying goes, you wanna know a person's true character? Look at how they treat people that can't do nothing for them. I couldn't do nothing for people, and they showed me their ass. Now they see they could possibly make money off me. Oh, now, hey, all right, well, he's not so bad now. No, that's the beauty of the shadow work. That's the beauty of the dark night of the soul. When you do come out of it and you get back up on top of your feet, you know who to fuck with and who not to fuck with. And if you tell people all the shit that you went through in the dark night of the soul, they're gonna look at you like you crazy. But I'm here to tell you, it's all part of growth. It's all part of your spiritual development. You chose this particular life for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know what past life incidences that you had to work out, what karma you had to correct, or what cycles or generational curses you had to break this time around. I don't know. Everybody's path is different. You know what I mean? So, excuse me. But the dark night of the soul, you had to understand, be kind, be patient. You have to realize it's going to get a hell of a lot worse before it gets better. And just when you reach your breaking point, that's when enlightenment comes. Because one day you're going to wake up, you're going to be so stressed out, you might start crying and your crying's going to turn into laughter. And then you're going to be like, well, why am I tripping on this particular bullshit? You see what I'm saying? So keep this shit short, keep this shit sweet, man. That's that Shadyside. You need to recognize when you're in the dark night of the soul. Whatever that particular situation is that you just got your emotions all fucked up, you feel like you're slowly starting to sink into a depression, you're in the dark night of the soul. If you feel like you're just feeling stagnant, you feel like you're on a fucking hamster wheel, like shit just going round and round and round and round and round and round and round, and it's slowly eating away at your sanity. And it slowly got you doing things that you never would have done before. This because you're depressed. You're in the dark night of the soul. If one of your parents died, you're probably in the dark night of the soul right now. If one of your homies died, you're probably in the dark night of your soul. Like one of your close friends died, you're probably in the dark night of your soul. One of your children died, you're in the dark night of the soul. You know? And this life ain't easy, but it's beautiful at the end of the day, man. This life comes with challenges, comes with a lot of heartaches, comes with a lot of setbacks, comes with a whole lot of bullshit. But you have to persevere through that. Because once you get through the dark night of the soul, enlightenment waits you on the other side. And you'll be able to laugh in the most fucked up situations when you're truly enlightened. That's what people don't understand about enlightenment. Everybody thinks you're gonna be walking around like Dalai Lama and shit, little robes and shit. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be on your Buddha pose at the fucking bus station, at the metro station and shit like that. No. When you're truly, truly enlightened, nothing can be thrown at you will faze you. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So again, keep this shit short, keep this shit sweet, man. Dark night of the soul. Recognize when you're in the dark night of the soul, and recognize it don't last forever. But you gotta get through it. You can't stop, because if you stop, it's gonna eat you alive. So when you recognize you're going through the dark night of the soul, keep your eyes on the prize. Keep persevering. Keep pushing. Don't listen to the motherfucking haters, man. Just don't. anyway, man, short but sweet, man. Good 20-minute video, man. Dark Night of the Soul, SS Shadyside. Follow me on Facebook. I don't really fuck with Twitter no more, man. At Marvelous Marcus Godly. Instagram at Marvelous Marcus Godly. If you're already on the YouTube channel, you know what I mean? Support my Patreon. Same, so all the same shit at Marvelous Marcus Godly. So anyway, man. Be back at the docks. Till your next ride. Thank you for boarding the Shadyside. I love y'all. Peace.